All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to try and cut through the noise around three of the biggest buzzwords in tech right now: generative AI, AI agents, and agentic AI. They all kind of sound the same, but the difference between them is actually a huge deal. So let's break down what each one really is and why it matters.
So yeah, you've probably seen these terms flying around everywhere. Maybe you've even used them interchangeably. And hey, if you're a little fuzzy on what really separates them, you are not alone. It's a total jungle of jargon out there. But don't worry, we're gonna clear all of that up today. And I think the best way to do it is to think of it like leveling up in a game. Each concept builds on the last one, getting more powerful and way more capable as we go. So, you ready? Let's start at level 1.
Okay, here we are at level 1. And this is the one you probably know best: generative AI. This is our foundation. This is our starting character. This is the creator. At its core, generative AI does exactly what the name says. It generates new stuff. It can create text, images, you name it, all by finding patterns in the mountains of data it was trained on, which is basically a huge snapshot of the internet. And the engine driving all of this is a large language model, or an LLM. But this also shows us its biggest weakness. See, you can ask it, what is Paris known for? And it'll spit out a great answer, because that's static info it learned. But the second you ask, hey, what's a flight to Paris cost for tomorrow? It's stuck. That information is happening in real time, out in the real world, and a pure generative AI has no connection to it. It knows a lot about the world, but it can't actually interact with it. And this is the absolute perfect way to picture it. The LLM is this incredible, brilliant brain, stuffed with knowledge. But all by itself, it really is just a brain in a jar. It can think and it can write, but it has no eyes to see what's happening right now, and no hands to actually do anything about it.
So what do?
We level up.
Welcome to level 2, the AI agent. This is where we solve that brain in a jar problem. We're moving from just creating to actually doing.
So here's the big question. What happens when we bust that brain out of the jar? What if we give it some hands? What if we hook it up to a set of tools, like giving it access to a travel website's API? Well, everything changes. Now, when you ask about that flight to Paris, it doesn't just say, I can't help with that. No, it accesses its tool, that travel API. It starts gathering live, up-to-the-minute data, comparing prices. And then, and this is the key part, it takes action. It finds the cheapest option and actually books it for you. It's not just a creator anymore. Now, it's a doer. And that's really the definition of an AI agent. It's a program that can perceive what's going on, think about it, and then act on its own. It has autonomy. It can make a decision, like finding the cheapest flight, not just any flight. The only catch is, it's usually focused on one specific, narrow job. But what if you have a really big, complicated problem? Well, for that, we need our final level up. Get ready for level 3, Agentic AI. This is more than just a doer. This is the orchestrator, the project manager of the AI world. I mean, just look at this request. This is not a simple task anymore, right? This is a whole goal, and it's full of tricky constraints. We've got dates, a strict budget, a weather requirement, and you gotta check on visa rules. Our little flight booking agent from level 2, it would totally fail at this. So how in the world does an agentic system handle this? It breaks the problem down. It calls in specialized agents. First up, it summons the flight booker agent. This one has the right tools for the job: a travel API to find the flights and a weather API to make sure it'll be sunny. But it's smarter than that. The system knows an international trip has other steps, so it calls on a totally different agent, an immigration specialist. And this agent has its own unique set of tools, maybe an immigration database and access to your passport info to figure out the visa situation before it books anything. And that right there is the magic of agentic AI. It's a whole system where different specialized agents can team up. It uses planning and multi-step thinking to pull off these really complex, long-term goals. It isn't just taking one action, it's orchestrating a whole symphony of actions to get the job done. Okay, phew. We've gone from the creator to the doer, all the way to the orchestrator. Let's just put it all together on one screen so it's crystal clear. So here it is, side by side. Generative AI creates content with its brain. An agent AI completes a task by giving that brain tools. An agentic AI achieves a big goal by managing a whole team of agents. The examples tell the entire story. right? We go from answering a simple question to taking a single action to planning a whole vacation. And if you look at it in terms of autonomy, how much they can do on their own, you see this perfect upward climb. Generative AI has pretty low autonomy. An AI agent has a medium amount. It can make simple choices. But agentic AI, we're talking a high degree of autonomy. It's planning, it's executing, it's running the show. So where does all this go from here? What does this whole evolution from a simple creator to a complex orchestrator actually mean for our future? Well, the number one thing to remember is that these levels are stacked. Agentic AI doesn't get rid of generative AI, it's built right on top of it. That powerful brain in a jar we started with is still the core engine inside every single agent. It's the foundation that makes all the doing and the orchestrating even possible. Which leaves us with one last really fascinating question to think about. We've watched this tech go from just writing a poem, to booking a flight, to planning an entire trip. As these systems keep evolving, as they get better and better at being complex orchestrators, what's next? What are the really big, really complicated tasks that we're going to start trusting them with? That's the big question.